Hi, you're watching Floyd Steinberg's YouTube channel. Today I'm going to walk through the FM-X engine on the Yamaha Montage M series, creating one patch and hopefully brushing all the important parameters, functions and features of that engine. I won't talk about the motion sequencer or user-defined LFOs in this video because I already did in other videos. FM-X on the Montage is quite a powerful engine, 8 operators, 128 voices, 2 insert effects and 3 global effects. Every operator has its own envelope and there are 2 LFOs that can be assigned to do anything with any of the operators you use. For this video all you need to know that in frequency modulation there are operators, and operators can both be carriers, which create sound, or modulators, which change sound. And with that, let's start. Frequency modulation on the Yamaha M8X using the FM-X engine. First thing you want to do is press the category button, then press Init, and now select the Init patch for the FM-X engine. Here we go. And now we should hear a sine wave. There it is. Next thing, you already see we've got a quick editor here on the small screen, but we also want to have big editor, so press performance, then press this area on the screen and then edit. And the first thing we want to do here is to set an algorithm. So that's on the general and pitch page, and there's FM-X settings and there's algorithm. And today I want to create a sound that is an EP 80s FM piano and strings. So I need a lot of carriers because I want my strings to be slightly detuned and there should be enough variation left for the electric piano sound. A nice thing here is you can use the algorithm search, and I want a lot of carriers and not so many modulators. So let's say, for example, I want an algorithm that has 5 carriers, so I can use 3 carriers for the string sounds and 2 carriers for the electric piano sound. So 5 carriers and flat modulation, and now we have this here for choosing. And I'll use this one here. Sound hasn't changed. Now I can use the quick editor. You can press these buttons according to the labels here on screen. I'm going to set up the levels here. So press this page button to switch through these options here. It's really quick and easy. And you can see we have our operator 8 at the moment here, which is here, and operator 7 is modulating operator 8, and operator 5 is modulating operator 6, and operator 3 is modulating operator 4, and these are standing on their own here. Right, let's do the electric piano first. This is quite easy. We're going to start working on the envelope of operator 8, which is the only one we're hearing at the moment. And you can do that by pressing the Commons button on screen here, and then let's go to operator 8. There it is. And we now have 2 tabs here, form and frequency and level. We're going to use level first, and now you can use the encoders under the screen to adjust this curve here. So we're going to add a little bit of decay and a little bit of release. And then we can adjust the volume or the amplitude itself. I want this to have a little bit of sustain, so when I hold the notes there will be some kind of pad sound there. Let's listen again. Okay, let's also add some velocity sensitivity. Going with 3 out of 7 will allow you to play with a little bit of expression without overdoing it. So the harder you hit, the louder the sound. Let's also increase the level a bit. Let's go to 90. This is done. Let's introduce operator 7. And remember, operator 7 is modulating operator 8, so it will just influence the sound. We won't be able to hear it. Let's go back to the Commons page here, and now let's increase the volume of operator 7. Let's edit the volume and the frequency here. To create a classic FM piano, we want the frequency of this modulator to be relatively high. At the moment it's on the same octave as the carrier, but let's increase that to, for example, 15. And now let's work on the levels. We want this to have a fast attack and fade away quickly. So dial in values like this, for example. And let's adjust decay here. There you have it. Also velocity sensitivity, so the harder you play, the more chiming the sound will be. Okay, let's leave it at this. Now let's introduce operator 6 to the mix. And operator 5, which is a modulator to operator 6. Okay, nice. So operator 6 will have roughly the same shape as operator 8 because it's part of the electric piano. We have fast attack and a little bit of more release there. Okay, and now we want to edit the modulator of the second branch here. And this should work in just the same way. So we'll have a short decay. Let's increase this a bit. Okay. We also want to adjust the velocity sensitivity here, both on operator 6 and operator 5. And once again, we want it stronger on the modulator. Let's introduce the string section. We have 4 other operators left we can work with, and I'm just going to use the first 2 here for a simple thing. So let's increase their volume to roughly 80. Now let's listen. So now you can hear those sine waves, but let's change this a bit. So go to operator 1 and use the form frequency page here. And now let's use the spectral option. So spectral lets you change the wave shape. So you have a couple of preset distortions here at your disposal. You can try these yourself. I'm going to use all 1, and now I will just quickly mute all the other operators so we can hear this. What's happening there? I'm using spectral 1, and now we can adjust the skirt value. I can hear it transforming into saw wave. If you go to the performance screen, you have this oscilloscope view here. There you can see what's happening. Let's go all in here. So there's a saw wave there, right? Let's make it slightly more mellow. Like this. And now let's introduce operator 2 as well. Do the same thing here, so give this a distortion and slightly increase the power. And now we can detune operator 2. Let's listen to some of the other options here, because I think you may find this interesting. Here's the second one. This is kind of like on the Rephase DX, if you know that small synth. Here you can introduce saw wave with filter resonance, kind of. But as I said, let's go with this and choose a value of 3 here. Same for operator 2. Okay, and the same for operator 4, of course, because operator 4 is a carrier. Okay, slightly detuned. Now we want to work on the envelopes. We want to have a long attack here, for example 50, and we want this on all of these string operators. We want some more release as well, perhaps something like 70. Okay, that is too much. More like 55, perhaps. Okay, let's bring back our electric piano. Now we need more attack. Okay, let's go back to the main screen, press this button and then common, and now let's take a look at some other options here. Go to general pitch. I want to introduce LFOs to make this all a little bit more wobbly. So go to modern control and then go to second LFO. You can see the second LFO by default will work on pitch and amplitude and filter. We want to introduce some pitch modulation on the patch itself. By changing the speed to something like 20, and the phase to 90 degrees and with a slight delay. And now we will introduce slightly different values for all of these carriers here, and we won't modulate the modulators. Okay, now let's increase the depth. Slower. Okay, let's do the same thing with amplitude modulation. Now let's increase the depth of the operators so the sound will change in brightness when they do that, because the modulators are adding overtones to the sound. So for example, if you introduce a lot of amplitude modulation on the modulators that change the electric piano sound, you can hear the brightness modulating there. Makes it a little bit more interesting to listen to. Now I want to add a special effect to my string sound. So we have one operator left that we didn't use, and that is operator 3. And operator 3 will modulate the string sound . So now I've introduced a little bit of amplitude there, and now let's go back to our LFO page and use the hot LFO, and here you can choose some destinations. First thing, I want to change the LFO wave to a sample and hold wave. So you can press this menu for options here, and I'm going to use sample and hold 1. And the destination for this LFO will be FM parameters. So scroll through this very long list here. We will use operator level, okay? We will dial all of this down, so we won't work on operator 1 and not on operator 2, neither this. We will work only on this, and everything else will be unaffected by this LFO. We are working on this operator here, which is modulating operator 4, part of the string sound. Now let's add some more depth. Now let's introduce some more speed. Okay, nice. Now let's adjust the level a little bit of attack there, and a little bit of release. Let's decrease the overall level of the string sound to something like 60. The FMX engine has a filter. If you go to the general page, you can go to the filter and amp page, choose a filter type. You can also do this on this screen here. For example, we could use a low pass filter and edit the cutoff frequency a bit. Add a little bit of resonance. And now we could add a cutoff and velocity feature here, so play harder, make the sound brighter. We can also edit a filter envelope, so let's do that. Dial out all the values here. And of course we can now use our LFO to change that filter as well. So let's introduce on the second LFO filter modulation. You can change the FM color of the overall thing. Think of this as a quick access to a lot of parameters at once. For example, if I change the FM depth, you will change the strength of the FM modulation of all the modulators at once. Listen to this. Use this with caution. I've heard of people who couldn't take such extreme levels of frequency modulation, and they then quit synthesizing and started learning guitar. Okay, what else have we got? We've got an effects section. Let's add some chorus here. And there's a second slot with insert effects. Let's add a delay here. So we have, for example, a tempo delay. And we can also add global effects. Press Shift and FX overview for this, and then you can see we've got two global effects here. I'm going to choose the shimmer reverb and then use the modulation reverb preset. Now we can go back to the performance screen, go to mixing, then send this patch to the reverb. One last thing I want to do is to add modulation controls to my patch here. So go to the general and pitch page on the commons page of the editor, and then go to modulation and control, then go to control assign, for example. We can now assign all those knobs here to make them do things, but I want to start with the mod wheel. So press this button, we will go to mod wheel there, and then press this button and select the destination, and I think LFO speed is okay. Let's listen to this. Okay, and of course we can use aftertouch. This keyboard here is polyphonic aftertouch, so the destination will be FM parameter, OP level, and I will, for example, adjust the strength of these two operators here. Okay, that's my quick walkthrough through the FM-X engine creating piano and strings. Yeah, and that's it for today. Creating a patch on Yamaha's Montage M series in the FM-X engine. And if you think this was a good YouTube video, please do the YouTube thing. I also have a Patreon page where you can become a channel member if you want to support what I'm doing here financially. But of course, none of this is mandatory. As always, thanks for watching and see you again very, very soon. Bye bye.